Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bitcoin Sage Show. I'm your host, Patrick, and today is December 22nd. It's 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard approximately, and we'll get right into the charts. So much has been happening over the last day or two. I've been trying to catch up while trading to take some time to fill in some charts here and go over the program with everyone, but there's been so much happening that I've had a hard time doing that. So last time we spoke, I think roughly yesterday morning, we were looking to see if there would be a continued trend up to break through resistance or whether we would fall apart below what was 16,363. That was our level of resistance. Once we broke through 16,363, we headed downward and hit a bottom point of what looks like 10,388 and have been bouncing off of that point. And that was actually a very important level, right around the 12,000 area. If we hadn't bounced off of that level, we could have looked for 8,000 to the downside. So the bounce so far was looking really good up to what looks like an hour ago. We were up to about 15,400. Now, just in the last hour, we seem to have some big selling candles, bringing us all the way back to 13,830, along with the usual FUD that's happening online now, where some people are predicting the end and the gloom and doom of what's going to happen. So anyways, at this point, there's a lot of selling pressure. We'll have to see whether this bounce continues or whether the sellers overtake again. So really watch the volume, watch this green volume, try to see if the volume comes in on the buy side for Bitcoin and see if we can get something off the bounce, or whether these negativity from the sellers will continue. So again, watch these levels. Again, I think once we get down below 12,000, I think we'll probably be targeting 10,000 quickly thereafter. And if we break through that psychological level, then we have even more trouble to look out for there. But in this case, we're still looking at a bounce back up to 16,300, or at this time, at least protecting 13,486. I'm going to jump into Ether. Ether's also seen incredible rise, almost falling just before it got to 0.050. We started to see a bit of a fall apart actually at 0.051, and it's consolidating now. It's not really falling apart, and with Bitcoin falling apart, I hope that gives it a little bit more legs, but we've been extremely positive about this since 0.037. Next, let's go to Bitcoin Cash. Just on fire over the last few days, as you can see, and it's been firing off and hitting that resistance at 0.263. Right now we're at 0.18. So if you were buying it down at these levels of 0.10, you could have easily doubled, if not 2.5 times your money. But at this point, I think we'll start to see a bit of a consolidation and see if there's legs for another leg up. Next, let's jump to Dash, since it's next on my list here. Same thing, we saw some great moves on Dash here. At this point, we're starting to see some nice sideways consolidation after that move upwards. It did bounce off of this resistance level. It doesn't actually look that good for me. Let me see what we have here. There's a little bit better on the 4-hour. So we'll see if this continues. There'll probably be a little bit of a consolidation since there was quite a nice run up here. A little bit of sideways movement is healthy to rebuild. Let's jump to IOTA. We saw a great move here and a bit of a pullback now. So that's healthy. We'll see if we see a bounce off of the resistance. What was resistance is now looking to be playing support. So we'll see if this bounce continues upward. Next, let's jump to Litecoin. Litecoin's been going sideways and then it fired off, down here to 0.0168. Again, something to watch carefully. I would have expected this to kind of really blow up to the upside now that Bitcoin's been falling apart quite drastically, but these types of moves, might imply that more people are exiting all coins. rather than it being limited or directly inverse correlation to Bitcoin's movement. Look at NEO. I don't see it falling apart too drastically, but similar to the last few charts and Litecoin, we do see a bit of a fall apart as Bitcoin has fallen apart. So we'll see if this line acts as resistance at this point. It is bouncing a little bit, but NEO does need to hold up above this. Otherwise, we'll see it retracing all the way back, and we don't want to see that. Monero, same thing, falling apart with Bitcoin, which is opposite to the run-up that we kind of did see. Amazing results with Ripple. I can't say enough about this. That's why I have been late with my videos and the podcast. Just trading these coins and getting out of them at the right time is the most important thing. So it blew past all of our resistance levels. At this point, I got out around 7,800-ish level with our last amount, but it's coming right back up. I'm not going to be long Ripple until we go back over 9,095 at this point. So it's got to do the work in my mind to break through that all-time high before I'm long on Ripple again. I'm more than happy with the results we got. Building a really great bag from the lowest levels and then bringing that up to some other more serious buy levels at 4707, and then getting most of it out at around 7,800 is a fantastic trade. And we saw it coming, and we knew it was coming. I didn't expect it to go as high as it did, but it's important to take those trades and not to get greedy, especially when you see that big upside. Next one is Neem. Same thing, fantastic run up over the last few days as it hit the last bit of resistance here. Did see a bit of a sell-off, but has bounced right back up to resistance and is again a little bit of a sell-off. Most of the time I find if it bangs into resistance, a few times, it usually ends in the upward direction. But we have seen with many coins over the last little bit where the attempts to break out have failed, no matter how big they are. Litecoin kind of as a good example. So just be careful with this resistance level here and see where we go. And that's it. Let's keep a close eye on Bitcoin and see how this next little candle works out. I really think we're in some treacherous territory here, and we really do need to either continue this bounce upward, or I think we'll build up a lot of negativity. Anyways, I'm very interested to see how all the altcoins are going to keep up. So on the next podcast, I think we'll go over some more of the correlation that we're not seeing now. Before, it was very dramatic that as Bitcoin was falling, the other coins were doing really well. But this dramatic fall apart in Bitcoin over the last 12 to 24 hours wasn't correlated to the altcoin prices, because they've also seen a fall apart. So we've seen a wider spread exit across all the altcoins. So very interesting. Keep an eye on that. We'll have some more interesting news and a bigger, wider update on tomorrow's show. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a fantastic day.